All right, cool. I don't even know what we're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know. I don't know where we're at right now. We're kind of like in limbo because it's like I don't want to kick off this whole other thing and start going in a different direction, just in case maybe we do get the appeal and the other channel comes back. So we'll see how we rocking tonight. We'll see what happens. But for now, I don't even know what to call it. Like the Den, the Valid Excuses show. Because Valid Excuses is something I kind of have been sitting on, something I've been wanting to do, but I guess it was just kind of in the corner. Some of y'all may remember this channel. Actually, it was Soft Society. Shout out to Man Things, wherever Mr. Man Things may be, Mr. Aaron. I hope that you are doing well. Is this too loud? Uh, well, I don't know. Oh, well, I guess I should turn that up. That's the problem. Maybe I should actually put the mic a little closer. How about that? Is that a little bit better? And I think it's because I have the mic near the computer. I think that PC fan might be blowing a little bit. So let me know. All right, there we go. And at first I didn't have the volume on. So yeah, that's what happened, man. You know, Kenneth gets a wrench. Finally gets a wrench. Channel disappeared. But I don't blame Kenneth. I blame Broderick. I blame Broderick for everything. So anytime something goes wrong, I'm pretty sure it's Broderick's fault if we look somewhere down the line. But it don't matter, man. We're gonna have a good time. I'm not even upset about it. I'm glad that this was here, and I'm glad that those of you, who do follow, who are a regular part of this community, were able to be contacted for the most part, and so that we can just kind of keep this thing going. But this is the reason. So I guess I should start saying, make sure you're following on all the proper social medias. Ed Honcho HTX on Instagram, Ed Honcho HTX on Twitter, Honcho HTX on TikTok. Don't ask no questions. Just follow the TikTok. I'm gonna say Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Ed Honcho on Facebook. Got the page. Just follow. I'll try to post stuff on there. I forget about certain platforms sometimes. It's not. I don't do it intentionally, but it happens. So that's the thing, right? So now this is where we have a dilemma, right? We don't have any. No, I'm not doing that hip shaking shit. I be seeing that shit, nigga. Whoo. We got things to talk about. I'm gonna try to stay on topic today, right? So a couple of things though. What's my fucking notebook? That's some bullshit. So did I put it on there? Oh, y'all, pardon me just one second. I'm here. I mean, we here. I'm gonna be honest. When I get on stream, I'll be sitting here in my drawers. So I don't be want to get up on stream and make it look all crazy. So I'm lying. I don't be sitting here in my drawers. That's crazy. That's funny because I was writing all this shit down. It's all good. We're gonna make shit shake. Got a notebook. So what's what we gonna do tonight, all right? I'm gonna have me a couple of shots of Casamigos. I'm out of my other tequila. And we're going to talk about the thing that women were right about. I was wrong. We get here and I say a lot of stuff. We talk about a lot of things. I think that, I won't say all the fellas, but there may be guys who think differently, right? There may be guys who agree with this. But there's a saying when it comes to femininity that women say, well, not even women, it's mainly black women, but I used to think this was the stupidest shit I ever heard until something clicked. And I'm like, you know what? It actually does make a lot of sense. But there's a caveat. So we're going to get into that. Let's see what we have joining us. Let's get the roll call. Den folk. Are we den folk? Or we? Man, like, that's why I really. This may end up just turning like, even if the appeal doesn't go, I may end up just turning this like to the den too. Because there's too much den culture. You know what I'm saying? We're den generates. We got den folk. Those denisms. We just might have to turn it to the den 2.0. And I'll figure out the valid excuses thing. Later on, whatever. Because I don't want to change that. But anyway, let's see what we got joining us. All you wonderful, lovely people. And then we'll get into some very interesting conversation because I've been seeing a lot of things differently as of late. All right, see, beyond the funny nigga. I'm just saying your name. Where's Chicago Mike when you need him? Kenneth, the young OG. What's the motherfucking deal? The lovely Miss Sarah Lou, how are you doing this evening? The lovely Miss D the Gamma, how are you doing, ma'am? Leave the moo cows alone. We need that good board and milk. Lovely Miss Bell, how are you doing this evening? Hopefully you drop some bellisms on us this evening. Broderick here. Yeah, there's that. There's Broderick. You know what I'm saying? DeMarquis here. I kind of give equal blame to DeMarquis and Broderick. DeMarquis not as much because he's younger, so he don't know better. But like 72% of the blame on Broderick, like 28%, 27.5% on DeMarquis. There's like a 0.5% margin of error. All right. Let's see. 335. Peace in the building. You know what? Hold on. I know one thing. Hey, what? Oh, wow. I guess I'm on the wrong. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. It's just, so how the fuck is that doing that and I'm over here? That doesn't even make any fucking sense. Because I popped the chat out and it's got a different channel on it. But, so I can't even respond the way I want to. What kind of stupid shit is this? What the fuck? See, when I put it back in, it does what it's supposed to do. But when I pop it out, it's not doing what the fuck it's supposed to do. All right, so anything, if y'all don't know nothing about me, I'll tell you one thing. Any channel I have, you know 335 gonna be a damn moderator. He's the only one of y'all I can trust. All right, that's it. He's the only one I can trust. The rest of y'all, I don't know. I gotta slowly but surely. All right. I heard that boy 335 been getting swole too. I ain't seen the I hadn't seen the deal. Did I miss it? God damn it. I be missing shit. So pardon me. I'm doing all kind of nonsense in the corner. My bad. I got all kind of nonsense going. Like, and it's crazy because with this show, like I'm trying to connect other little services and doing all kind of little stuff, right? And just things they're not cooperating as they should, but you know, it is what it is. We're not even gonna get mad about it. We're just gonna keep pushing. But what happened, I think, honestly, and let me do this in the corner while I'm apologizing for all the rest of this stuff. What I think happened ultimately was that because I released all of those videos, and thank you. Oh, wow. Thank you, Dan the Man. I had to go back to the thing. I have to keep a record. Shout out to Dan the Man with the plan for the donation. I appreciate the support. Matter of fact, you know what? Take a shot to Dan. Dan, I was thinking about you earlier, honestly. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know I be all over the place. I got to remind me because I be ADHD. You know, next time a broad ever give you any flack, Mr. Dan, tell him I'm Dan the Man, bitch. And just walk off. That's it. You ain't got to argue with it. You ain't even got to give her too much energy. Just tell her, bitch, I'm Dan the Man. Just walk away. She'll understand. So shout out to Dan the Man. I appreciate that. Let's see. If I miss you, I ain't diss you. Yeah, I gave DeMarquis a shout out. He don't need no shout outs. That's all he needs. All right, there we go. All right, cool. You're definitely. It popped up on screen. I was looking up to the side trying to fix that damn chat thing, so my bad. But she got to start some shit first. You know, let her kind of escalate a little bit. You know, just be like, you know what? I'm not hearing you now. I'm Dan the Man, bitch. Just walk off. Look at your shirt, mate. It says I'm Dan, bitch. I think that would be great. But shout out to you, Mr. Dan the Man. All right. Whew. I think the link, I want to say the links, because I think I still have it connected to the Den link, so it'll show up on the screen for the Den links, even though it's a different, yeah. So the link should be in the description. I think it's I don't know if it's the Streamlabs or the Stream Elements one. But thank you, shout out to Dan. And shout out to the lovely Miss Sarah Lou. All right, so I was saying something before that and I forgot. But we'll come back, I'm sure it'll pop up back later. Oh, you know what I was saying? We're probably not going to be a super long stream tonight, right? Because today was my early day. And, you know, I had to be in for 5. But for whatever reason, I was up about 3 something this morning. And, you know, I said, all right, cool, with all the events that have taken place today. I was like, I'm going to give me a little power nap in. That didn't happen. Like you ever say like I'm gonna go get a nap and you go lay down, but you don't like actually nap. Um, what do they call it? Deep rest. There's this thing that's called like deep rest something. So it's basically like where you're not actually sleeping, but your body's actually recovering rest. It's called deep something. Deep, it's some of the R. It's like deep relax or deep something, but it's like you're not sleeping, but you're resting. It's almost getting the same benefits as actually sleeping. But so it's more like that than actually getting sleep. But I definitely didn't get any benefits from it. So didn't sleep. And I'm like, as I was getting ready, I'm just like, you feel the effects. Like as the time's coming, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely getting a little tired. But hey, we might get it going good, and who knows, right? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So, pardon me, y'all know what it is. Another thing today, and I'm not saying this for any particular reason, but kind of, sort of, because I've gotten out of this thing where I used to do a lot, where I would share certain thoughts and feelings and things that were going on. But I don't post that shit on social media really anymore because don't nobody give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody gives a fuck. Like, yeah, I'll click your little like and you'll do all this, but nobody gives a fuck. But anyway, today is my best friend's birthday, the one I tell you about often that passed, right? And I find it funny, that this being today and then the channel of all days, I mean, of course, recently I undid everything, that it got deleted today. And instead of getting upset about it, like at no point today have I even got mad, honestly. Like I'm just thinking, it's been like 6 years of stuff, it's a lot of stuff. And you got a 3:30, appreciate that. I'm gonna be in the slum tomorrow. I might be tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. That's usually I'm in the slum area. I'll be fucking with what's that spot over there? Mi Rancho. I was told I need to go check out El Refuge too. But yeah. Oh, you got to be up at 4:55. Good grief. So yeah, we're a bunch of early rise. We're a bunch of late night owls, early risers in here. We stay up with the owls, and I don't say we fly with the. We probably stay up with the owls and about as productive as some chickens in the morning pecking around. But what happened to Edmund? No, where is Ed? I don't know where Edman is. Edman probably at Plucker still. But anyway, I'm saying all this shit. I'm all over the place. But I'm saying all that, like I say, today. And so I look at it like, with that being the day, the anniversary of his birthday. Well, not the anniversary, it's his birthday. And these things happen. I just look at his motivation. I'm just like, as coming back and saying, I want to do this, this, and this. It's almost like a test. Like, are you really still that hungry? Are you really willing to start from scratch and put the work in? So even if the appeal doesn't go through, I'm not even necessarily like tripping. It's just, I mean, there's nothing that y'all necessarily need to do. Just be the den folk y'all always been. And just, I'm going to do my part as far as consistency, as far as giving us a place to do our den thing. That's all I can do. And, if y'all show up, things will just progress as they should. But I do know I have to do things that I didn't used to want to do, which is really not exploiting, but utilizing other platforms and trying to bring in more eyes from other platforms. So I know what I gotta do. I got a couple of pre-recordings in mind. I got a couple of topics I want to do. I know it's gonna have to be that. I'm gonna have to talk about things I don't necessarily want to talk about, but I have a strategy. I spent a lot of today just kind of planning shit that I should have did with the den that I just never really wanted to do because I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. But who the fuck am I, right? The game works how it works, and so I have to do what I have to do, to get there. So that's just what happens. Yeah. Yeah, he probably is. No, man, he probably is out there sipping somewhere. But let's talk about it. Let's get into it. So the thing, right? The thing is just saying, Honcho, you said you're wrong about something. You said the women are right. The ladies are probably on pins and needles. Honcho said we're right about something. Y'all always swear that I'm attacking the ladies, that I'm talking bad to y'all, that I'm very negative. I've been accused of all kind of things in here when it comes to the women, right? I've been accused of a lot of things. Well, I guess this being a different channel. I've been accused of a lot of things. Y'all accuse me of not being friendly with the people in the alphabet community. These are all falsities. These are all lies. I love everybody, right? I just hate. Not I don't hate anything. I just don't like certain actions, right? Certain agendas. But anywho, so the thing that I'm talking about, and I say this is mainly an issue, or mainly a thing I've only heard from black women. And when I open up the line, yeah, y'all call in, correct me if I'm wrong. And I want to know your thoughts about this, especially the ladies. I want to know your thoughts about this one in particular. And this thing is that I felt like I was wrong about the saying, or not the saying, but the thing I've heard a lot is that a woman, or that they always say that, oh, I'll be feminine, basically when the time comes, or I'll be feminine when, the man brings it out of me or whatever, right? And I used to be like, that's the stupidest shit. Like, if you're feminine, you're feminine, right? But life, you live life and you see things. And we can talk about numbers and we can talk about, the statistics. But there's a difference when it comes to like numbers and then it comes to personal stories or anecdotes or whatever you want to call it, right? And that's why people use personal stories when they're trying to push an agenda as opposed to saying, hey, AIDS is killing 1 billion people, right? Or you would say, hey, this disease, look at this kid who was infected because it was passed along when they were born. And you just sell this real sad story. It's more powerful to sell that one singular sad story because it's relatable than it is to push, the numbers, right? So I know what you're going to say. Numbers in black women. I understand all this, right? But let's just kind of go at a more personal level, right? And so the reason why my perspective on this has changed is because I kind of look at some of my history, right? Women I've dealt with in the past, right? I've dealt with a variety of types of women. I've dealt with some very nice women. I've dealt with some not so nice women. Yeah, but here's the thing though, right? I've never had a lot of these issues that I see dudes complaining about with women and the masculinity. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if I'm the guy that brings it out or what, right? But I don't have this issue. But I know I've dealt with some hard hoes. Not Scarlett hard. Scarlett is like the hardest bitch in existence of all time. That bitch harder than Joan of Arc. Like, not that hard. That, like, maybe right under that. I don't know if I have those capabilities. But I don't know what it is, right? I don't know if it's, a size, a presence, a energy, or whatever. But there have been women in my past that I went upset and I thought about it. And I was like, damn, this gangster ass bitch. I've seen this bitch do some old wild ass shit and get with niggas like tight, off the wall shit. But, we done kicked it in a more personal setting, more intimate setting. And this bitch purring like a pussycat. Like, this is a violent motherfucker. This is a dangerous person, right? I might actually be scared to fuck with this bitch. On some real shit. Like, a couple times, I might have been a couple times I fucked with. I was like, this might not be the smartest thing I've done in my life. But I did it anyway, right? Because thinking with my dick. So the thing about it is like, I used to say that was dumb. Right? I used to say it was dumb. When we're talking, and I don't want to just focus on black women, say only black women do it. But this is the group that I've heard this saying from. And it does make sense though, because let's be honest, a lot of black women present a a lot of black women present a masculine energy, right? And I get it. I've started to understand. I've had more conversations with people. I've started to open my mind back up. I was like I said, I've started kind of getting back to the person I was. I think when you can be around certain people so long that they can kind of alter your energy from who you really are. And then once you kind of get back into yourself, you kind of recognize things. When you're in it, it's kind of hard to realize certain shit. But now that I've kind of gotten back to myself, I talk to people and I have these conversations and, I like to be provided a perspective that I just don't have. And so a lot of these women, yeah, they are masculine, they are aggressive or whatever you want to call it, but what they're trying to do is fill a role they don't understand, right? A lot of them try to make up for the energy that wasn't provided, the masculine energy that wasn't in their lives, right? So you'll see a lot of them do what they think is masculine or try to present themselves as masculine, but real men no different. And so, but it is true, right? As stupid as I thought the shit was, as dumb as I thought it was, it takes the right dude, right? It takes the right dude to, to make a hard hoe humble, right? Triple H, a hard hoe humble. You want to humble a hard hoe, it takes the right type of dude, right? Like if you're a weak man, you will not bring out feminine because you're probably exuding the feminine energy, right? You're not gonna bring that out of a chick because you presenting that shit. AB, what's the motherfucking deal? And so it's gonna be, well, my boy Jerry Key in the building. What's up, Jerry Key? Tri-Ball's finest. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I think there's a disconnect, right? And I've never really been what I would call red pill. You know what I'm saying? I relate to a lot of it. I understand it. But as I've kind of, like I said, I've just kind of come to realize that I don't deal with the same issues most men are dealing with, right? Because when you start talking about those factors, other than the 6 figures, I don't make 6 figures yet. But other than those factors, like, the standards that women want, I think I present those things. But I think that money is not even really the issue. Women say that shit because they hear other women say that shit. Money's not the issue. And it depends on, again, what it is you're trying to accomplish. You're talking relationship and you're talking one night stand. You're talking about two completely different things, right? You're talking about two entirely different things. Exactly. Shout out to Ken. They haven't experienced it like, and they view masculinity as toxic because they present it as toxic because they've never seen what masculinity really is. So that's really is. So when people say this toxic, masculinity can never be toxic. It cannot be toxic. Period. Like it's impossible, right? And that came from what was a study. They showed if you look at the two dudes who conducted that study, you would see why they came up with that phrase. But it can't be toxic. Masculinity is what saves lives. Like masculinity is what takes the risk, to create or the risk to explore. Masculinity is purely positive. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, AB. I've just seen it, and I've just the interactions that I've had, just purely conversation. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. When you start approaching things and you're not wanting an outcome, you know what I mean? You're not wanting, so say like if you're a dude and you talk to a chick. Genuinely talk to chicks without wanting with no expectations. So I'm not trying to fuck you. I'm not trying to, even necessarily maybe even get your number, depending on what level you are with her. But just having a general conversation. And when you do that with no expectations, you'll find it so much easier to talk to women if you are struggling to talk to women. Two, Heidi's here. Did I say hi, Heidi? I don't speak German. But yeah, like all of these things, a lot of stuff that's being told to you, especially by a lot of internet people, it's not true. It's really not true. And so you got to go out and have experiences. You know what I mean? You got to go out and live. You know what I mean? There are certain facts, there are certain things that are going to be common across the board. Yeah, there are going to be traits that are, I wouldn't say measurable, but you can account for, and will tell you a lot of things. But ultimately, the type of man you are will tell you what type of chick that you can deal with. And a lot of dudes are not realistic with themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's a huge problem too with the dating community. Oh wow, Heidi's a terrible person. Because there's a lot of dudes kind of doing the same shit that females are doing, right? Because we talk about hypergamy, when we talking about females always try to bounce up to the next best thing or, whatever it is. But it's a lot of dudes they're not necessarily hypergamous, they're not executing it, but they're looking at things that are out of their league. And you just got to be realistic with yourself, right? But it's not hard to get it in your league. You just got to be one of this. A lot of niggas just don't want to do the small things. You know what I'm saying? It's small shit. Exactly. And that's the thing. Shout out to AB. AB, I already know. I know I ain't giving AB no guy. I ain't lacing him up. But, and that's what it is. It's like niggas try too hard to be something they're not, or they try too hard to be in a category they don't belong in. And sometimes, as a dude, you may have to realize, man, you might be the slump buster. You know what I'm saying? You might be a female slump, you might be, this, that, it is just, it is what it is. But confidence over cash, 10 times out of 10. Confidence over cash. Because like I said, like AB said earlier, they're using that money to supplant something that they're lacking. You know what I mean? But along with that confidence comes that woman, and we're talking about her, that more masculine, that more aggressive woman who may not show that femininity, but that confidence, that that's another word I'm looking for. It's another word, but those things, and if she sees those things, she's more than likely to exude those traits, right? But if you come on some other shit and you unsure of yourself and you moving shaky, it's just a lot of shit going on that you are reflecting. It might not be in your words. Body language is very important as well. But I'm not gonna take a lot of time talking, right? Because I'm gonna be honest. I'm like, I'm out of there. But I'm out of there. But you say they think masculinity is about lying, deceit, manipulation, set up boundaries, respect, expression. Yeah, and that's exactly. That's masculinity is. There is nothing negative about masculinity. You know what I'm saying? Your perspective of masculinity be negative, but masculinity itself, there's nothing negative about it, right? But we like to use these buzzwords, and it's internet talk, right? Internet talk. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I agree with you. I agree with that, AB. But you got people who get it. They get so locked into it. They go from the red to the black, and then you don't want to fuck with hoes no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about that. And here's my thing, fellas, can we stop getting mad at the women? Like, we know what their nature is, right? At this point, we understand. At this point, we understand the nature of a woman, right? And I'm going to say some things, and ladies, if you disagree, when I open up the line, you can call and express yourselves. But in reality, right, the reason why women hold men to these, or try to hold men to these extreme standards, is because deep down inside they believe that we are better than they are, right? That's just what it is. What anybody does. When you look at another race, you're like, "Whoa, they got this, and this." Well, and secretly you're believing that they're better than you, that they have some type of ability that you lack, right? When in reality, biologically, we'll talk about that. But so instead of getting mad and getting upset and getting frustrated, I think there's a couple of things you should do. One is, if you know a broad is goofy, don't even waste your time. Like stop feeling like some of these women are worthy of your presence. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it to be cocky, to be conceited, to be whatever, but if you know you wouldn't hang around a lame ass dude, or you wouldn't hang around a whack ass dude, why would you give a whack ass female your time? Because let's be honest, broads can be just as corny, just as lame, and just, if a lot of women, if they did not have vaginas, they would be incels, right? They would be the losers, the lames, and the shit that you talk, only because many of them have vaginas, they get to excel. But we're not getting, it's not a hate on woman thing. This is not a woman bashing thing. This is just helping men have a better understanding of how they move around. An entire month? Come on, Heidi. We all know stabbing is a Hispanic crime. Shooting, on the other hand, then we can have a conversation. So, how would we? We wouldn't know, because stabbing is not our crime. Okay. Robbing, other things, maybe. Maybe. But that's not our crime. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up the line, right? And I want to talk about this. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know your feelings. I want to know your views. If you agree or disagree. Can a masculine energied, we'll call a masculine energied woman, become feminine in the presence of the right man? Does it take the right man to bring that out? Or Do you feel like if a woman is just not feminine, she's just not feminine and she just doesn't have it? And there was another statement I made. I forgot about it. But again, we'll share your thoughts. Give me just a second. Let me open up the line. And also, let me put the fucking headset on. Oh, man. Like, I've had this little cord. Somehow it fell on the floor. And I've been acting like, I've been treating it like a smoke alarm battery and just leaving it and not tending to it. I done rolled over this thing like 3 or 4 times, so I hope it still works. Yeah, that's right. Who do we have calling in to the V line? Terrible. Yeah, we're gonna work on those. And that's what I say. I don't even want to come up with any sayings. I don't want to come up with any catchphrases just yet because, like I said, I want to see how long YouTube is gonna take to deny my appeal, and then after they deny my appeal, then we'll get into, you know, turning this into the Den 2.0 basically. So we still gonna probably call it Den Line and everything else. I don't even know. All right, Dan the man, I appreciate you. Thank you, sir. We got folks calling into the Den Line already. I'm like, because it's connected to the to the phone and on the. I'm hearing something going on. So yeah, I don't never have my ring. Like I'm the worst person to contact. Right. I don't have any notifications on my phone. I don't like other than a call, and then I still got my shit on fucking mute or probably do not disturb or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not a phone fan, right? I'm not a fan of the phone. I need it. It's a necessary evil. You know, it's a good distraction when necessary. But let me see if I'm shit. Make sure I can still use this line. So I think I had it connected to the DN. All right. Cool. Okay. So I don't think it's pulling up yet, but I know who is calling in. I will make sure that you are the first caller. Well, while I'm doing this, let me make sure I got the audio set right. Yeah, there's that, and there's that. So that way, all right, caller, you can call, or I'll call you. Y'all know me on the Den. I call somebody. I wish I still had Bretto number. I call Bretto ass right now if I had it. Bretto, we the move, man. The government got us. So yeah, there's that. All right, let's see what we got shaking. What's the mother fluffing deal? Who do we have calling into this random channel line this evening?
You know it's Belle.
Yes, yes. Lovely Miss Bell. How are you doing this evening, Miss Bell?
Doing pretty good, actually.
Okay. Miss Bell, do you drink?
Excellent in the background. I have.
Yeah. When's the last time you
The
had a
last
drink?
drink I probably had was maybe February. Before that was like 7 or 8 years ago.
Good grief. And what was it? Do you remember what it was?
Yep. It was tequila with strawberry daiquiri.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. So what's on your mind this evening, Miss Bell?
Well, you had posted the question, and I don't think it's completely specific to just black women. I think it's a women across the board question.
Okay.
And something we've all been talking about recently, about just different energies and being aggressive and assertive. And I think that there's a way that people come across, when women come across aggressive, that's when I feel it shows a real masculine energy. And when women come across as assertive, it tends to come off as a little bit more feminine energy. Who knows if I'm right? You wanted some bellisms? I'm working with it.
All right. I think this is the right number. Let me double check.
The one I called you on was the one from the other week, from last week.
Let me double check. 'Cause I don't even remember what it was. I'm gonna be honest. Uh, no, the number on the
I
screen.
can,
Yeah, the number on the screen is not the right number. Miss Bill has the right number. I don't think. I don't. Oh yes, no.
actually, that is the
It
right
is the right
one.
number. Okay, I'm looking at the wrong thing. All
Yeah.
right, cool. Okay, cool. All right, I'm looking at my damn phone number because it's got it connected. All right, my bad. I don't even know my own damn number. That's bad. That's terrible. Yeah. When people ask for my number, I don't even know what to give them. All right, sorry about that. Okay, cool.
Well, how often do you call yourself? I mean, hello?
About twice a month.
Th- There you go.
Okay. So you said so assertive is more feminine in your opinion. Um,
I don't think it's more feminine, but I think that it's a less abrasive.
okay. Okay. Okay.
And when women are very direct and aggressive, it can come off as masculine or just bully.
Okay. So, do you think that there's a double standard when it comes to women who are maybe more aggressive or more assertive? Do you think society automatically casts them in a negative light, or do you think differently?
I think that depends on the individual because sometimes it can be just where they are in life. I mean, they just can be really defensive and bitchy and aggressive, or they can be passive and assertive. I think it's more about attitude and the environment they're in.
Okay. Okay. So, do you feel like a man has the ability to make a masculine woman feminine?
I guess if he touches the right button, I don't think there's any way of knowing because when people connect, people connect.
Would
I think
you?
it takes the right kind of person to connect with the right kind of person, straight or alphabet.
I'm not even going to go down that path. But okay,
We don't have to. That's okay. I'm good with that.
okay. Um, so in your opinion, do you think? Why do you think that women, who are supposed to be considered the feminine, why do you think there are women who present themselves much more masculine, even though they may be straight?
Probably feel like they want to be heard. And sometimes louder projects the fact that they want to be heard when old advice that my mom gave me, when you want your kids to listen, talk softer and quieter. People will tune you out when you get loud and belligerent.
Who do you think people listen to more, men or women?
I think it's actually the tone of voice. I mean, men actually have a more calming voice because it's baritone. The more women goes high pitched, the more we tend to tune it out, unless it's opera.
Okay.
And the higher pitched anybody's voice, male or female, that's what happens. We tend to tune them out because it comes across as whining or it comes across as just whatever. But I don't think it's specifically a black thing about women being either aggressive or assertive. I think that it's trying to be heard in a man's world when we sometimes feel like we're silenced more often than we want to be.
So you feel like women are silenced in society?
I think that over the last, we'll say 50 to 100 years, it's gotten better. Is it perfect? No. But it is getting better.
So what would be perfect in your opinion?
There would be a balance. There would be, it wouldn't be, well, because I have a dick that I'm, the head of the family, or it wouldn't be because I have tits and an ass, I'm in the kitchen and I'm cooking and cleaning. I mean, that's an ideal. But it also depends on the two people in the relationship.
Mm. So here's my thing. Do you really think it's because of the phallus itself that the man gets to make the rules?
I think it's because in different religious societies it's patriarchal, so it's men-led.
Mm.
And so that being said, it plays into the general family dynamic.
I think it's all biology. I don't think it's even. I don't. I think that because there's a mentality that goes. This is just my opinion, right? Because I don't see. It's hard to see. Let me put it like that. It's hard to see. Maybe it's a Western thing, or maybe it's a nation worldwide thing. I don't know. It's hard to see women leading, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to turn to a man at some point in time for assistance. You can govern and say, do this, do that, do this, do that, but ultimately you're going to need men to do this, to do that, or to execute the rules and the laws. Um, because again, so for instance, let's say
Mm-hmm.
you had a situation, say you're in a violent situation, right? And say a man was attacking you. You call the police, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you know, a woman your size or maybe shorter, smaller than you shows up. Are you going to feel confident in her ability to resolve the situation?
Okay, backing up what I know about domestic violence is they don't usually send one cop to that situation. They would send two policemen or
Okay,
two police
two
persons.
women then. If they sent two women to assist you in that situation, would you feel more confident with
Sure,
those two women than you would two men?
sure. I've met some really assertive and aggressive cops that were female, but I've also met some really good cops that were just assertive and still had their feminine side to them.
That is
It's more
interesting.
about attitude. You know, you can have a ball buster whether they're female or male, or you can have somebody that's rather passive and just kind of sits back and watch things happen.
Okay. Well, me personally, it can sound as biased as you would like. One, I mean, I'm not going to be turning to the laws to help me out. But if I was in a situation where I required um, police assistance, I think I'd feel much more confident in the matter getting resolved with two men. Because, again, if something got out of hand, or say you had an attacker who was my size, right? Two
Mhm.
average sized women aren't going to stop me from doing whatever it is that I'm attempting to do physically. Now maybe they can pull their guns, they can use tasers, but we've seen tasers fail. We've seen grown men use tasers and still have plenty of issues with them, right? So
Mhm.
aside from going executing lethal measures, I feel like it's almost ineffective in a truly violent situation. You know what I mean?
Uh, okay. That particular situation, I can agree with you. But I also know of a story that there was way back when this woman was maybe 108 pounds soaking wet, and she was high on angel dust, and it took 8 cops to take her down. So it's all depending on the situation.
Well, angel dust is definitely an X factor. Sure, wet, any of those type of substances will definitely cause a
Mhm.
person to engage in superhuman behavior. So I can see that. But I mean, I'm just saying either way it goes. Because when you go and you look outside, you don't see women building the roads. You don't see them taking out the trash. They're free. Y'all have all the rights and the abilities to do so. But I have a feeling there's not a lot of women applying for those jobs. I have a feeling that, there's not a lot of women who are eagerly anticipating getting a call back or being out in the sun or shit. Like we've had this record heat out here. The only women I see who get out there and do anything remotely close are Hispanic women. And so, shout out to the Hispanic women because those obviously they be out there landscaping. They be out there doing. Look, hey, salute to the Latinos. That's all I can say about that. But overall, and so if society has been, predominantly done by men like that, to me it just seems it's hard for me to see a woman, ruling over all of that and it being effective. And you can call it bias, you can call it misogyny, you can call it whatever you want. That's my genuine thoughts. I mean, I genuinely feel that way.
It's just your opinion of it. No judgment. As somebody who has had to be single for a long time, I'm gone out, gone fishing, brought it home, cooked it, and done all of it, taken the garbage out with the bones in it. So what are we actually talking about? Are we talking about relationships? Are we talking about things in general?
So, well, in the aggressive masculine sense, that's more about a woman getting in touch with her femininity because, like I say, the saying is that the reason why I focus solely on black women is because I've only heard black women say that I'll become feminine when, I meet a man that makes me feminine or something of that sort. But generally, it is
White
presumed
women
that...
do the same thing. They just don't talk about it that way. We're not as open about that.
So do you think white women across the board or more so present themselves more masculine? Or do you think society kind of
No.
skews the view of that?
I think it depends on whether they're straight or they're not. I think it depends on whether they live in the South or they live in a different region of the country. I think all those things have an effect on how women present themselves.
Regional, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because in the South, women are more gentile. They're much more passive aggressive. And I don't speak for everybody, but I just have seemed to find that happens a lot. And in New England, they'll cut you to the quick and get to the point and be done with you. But it doesn't make them aggressive. It just means they don't have a lot of time to play, so they're just getting the point across.
Okay. Do you think that women are considered more aggressive now or in the past?
I think that there's been more of a spotlight put on women on women violence in the last probably 20 years, yes. Personally, I think it's the wrong way to go about getting what, as females, we want to achieve.
Do you think women are more aggressive nowadays because they are, on average, larger than they used to be?
I don't think it has anything to do with size. I think across the board, we're a more violent nation than we were even 20 years ago. People's tolerance has slipped to ADHD levels.
Yeah.
And if they're not either staying in their own lane or they're not just saying, okay, I need to just shut this down, it comes down to healthy boundaries too, which is a whole other cabinet of things.
I got one last question for you, Ms. Bell.
Sure.
Do you have any particular feelings about white folding chairs?
They're necessary evil when you're at an event.
Okay. So you don't feel any trauma when you see a white folding chair?
Do I want to throw it at somebody? No. Does it have a purpose? Is it a utility? Absolutely.
Okay. Have you ever seen anybody get violent at a wedding?
I'm sorry, what?
So have you ever seen anybody get violent at a wedding?
No. Which actually surprises me, but no, I haven't.
Okay, just curious. I don't know. That was random because you know, white folding chairs, wedding event. All right. Okay. Well, any other thoughts? Anything that you would like to add to it, or any other, that you would like to add to the conversation?
Nope. Can't wait for Sarah to call in, though. It's on her.
We calling folks. Miss Bell has laid down the law. I don't know. We gotta come up with a new saying for this channel. If this has to be, I don't know what we're gonna do with this channel.
If she's gonna call me out on shit, then I'm gonna put the gauntlet down for her too.
All right, that sounds good. We will see. We will see if Miss Sarah is going to reply, or if she's going to respond. All right, well, Miss Bell, I definitely appreciate you for getting the lines. Well, you're the first caller in this. I don't know where we are right
Platform.
now. Yeah, we're in limbo at this point until we get a final decision on the other thing. I don't want to start calling this anything yet. We're just in a random dark space on YouTube. Yeah, pun intended. Because I'm sure Heidi will say something because she's a racist.
So this is our platform of the day.
Yeah, until we figure it all out, until we get it all together, until I hear something back from YouTube. Yeah, this is what we're rocking with.
Glad to be your first.
Yeah. All right. Well, see, I took you to Pound Town, and now you're my first. You know what? We got a nice little relationship going on here, Miss Bell.
There you go.
All right. Well, I appreciate it.
All right. Good night, Honcho.
Yes, ma'am. Good night. So y'all might not know that. See, if y'all ain't in the Discord, y'all miss out on a lot. Like I said, I know, Ken. I know you've been trying to do your thing, but I had to take Miss Bell to Pound Town the other night. So, but no disrespect. You say you can text or type in chat. You can also text the line. You can call or text the line if you have thoughts that you want to be, or questions or something that you want specifically expressed. But yeah. So like I said, my beliefs, my thoughts, my views about these things are, it's I don't know. I've started to notice that as much as we try to intervene with things, as much as man tries to alter the natural order of things, right? I mean, there's just a natural structure of things, and we can try and say, "Well, I don't like this. I don't like." You just got to roll. You got to play the hand you're dealt, right? And it is what it is. People are in the position they are, ultimately for a reason, whether they know that reason or not, or whether they understand how they're putting themselves in that situation or not. They're there because that's where you choose to be, In my negative situations, I was there because that's where I chose to be. In my positive situations, that's where I chose to be. Like, sometimes, like I mentioned earlier, it's hard to see it when you're in something. Sometimes you have to take a step back and look at it, right? And say, oh, okay. Oh, this is what's really going on. But it's a natural order. It's a structure of these things. And as much as I feel like this, and this is genuine, I'm being genuine, I'm not pandering to anybody. I don't believe men and women are equals, right? Not in the sense of a direct one-to-one. You know what I mean? Like, we're just not. I think that men possess certain strengths that a woman just will never have the ability to do, and shouldn't want to, is what I think. But there are traits that women will have that a man can never possess, right? And shouldn't want to, it's just but we've gotten to the point where we've gotten so far away from our nature that we think that these things are bad now. You know what I mean? We think that they're negative now, or those of us, I feel like the world's overpopulated anyway, but those amongst us who may lack these things are trying to convince us that these are bad traits or that these are, whatever. Women who don't come off as what maybe people would consider feminine will convince you that femininity is a bad thing, right? Dudes who don't come off as what people would view as masculine, the Chads, will convince you that masculinity is a bad thing. That's what they'll do. kind of the world that we live in these days, right? But it is what it is. It's really simple, but we've made shit complicated. We've given a voice to people like me. I I shouldn't have the access to talk to a lot of people at any given time. I shouldn't be allowed to talk to more than like 3 people at a time. Seriously, it's probably dangerous, right? If more than 3 people are listening to me at any given time, it's probably dangerous for society. But no, seriously, it's simple. And when you look at everything, like when you look at, I'm not a doctor. I'm just another nigga on YouTube. But when you look at everything across the board, man, we've overcomplicated shit. We've gotten away from wanting to be what we are so badly, want to be different so badly. We are the cause of our own problems. Like we are our own issues. You know what I mean? But you say that you're some type of ist. You know, whether it's you know you're saying something hateful or not. Think about it. What more do you need? Again, and trust me, this is a person coming from a person who loves technology, right? I love technology. I saw a meme today that expresses my thoughts exactly, but with a little bit of oomph to it. But I would rather live on a farm in a small community with other farmers, right? Everybody grows their own little stuff. Maybe we trade, we barter. Because I don't believe cities are a good thing. I think cities are a terrible thing. Keep it in real time, Riley. What's the mother? Well, excuse me, the lovely Miss Riley in the building. Um, and y'all notice I do try to present the guys and the ladies different because we're different. That's why y'all get different what's ups in here because we're different. But it's okay because I'm equally respectful of both. That's how I see things. It's not separate but equal. That shit ain't work. But we're different. We're not equal, like I say, in a one-to-one. We have our strengths and our weakness, but we want to be this. Everybody wants to be this, and they want to be the other side, and people want to be furries, and you just it's all in disarray, right? But what happened is when we went big, is when we went wrong, right? When you had big pharma, you have big ag, you got big old girls in San Antonio, right? No, I'm just fucking with y'all. I love San Antonio. No, I like big girls more than I like San Antonio. But it's neither here nor there. But once we started mass producing everything, right? Then we commercialized everything and all that stuff. Like that's when these problems grew exponentially because we're different. Even people like I'm not. Again, I'm not a doctor. This ain't medical advice. These are just my thoughts, my opinions. Men who exude feminine energy, men ought to consider those men gay. But it's not just men. Don't just look. Women consider them gay too, because oh shit. See, I done broke the damn thing. I got my hand caught up, dreads caught up in the thing. Mic check 1 2 1 2. It ain't just the men, but yeah, if you're not, because there's expectations. If you have certain abilities, right, or you have certain physical traits, you have certain physical capabilities. So as men, we are bigger, stronger, faster, right? And we're not going to use the anomalies. We're not going to use the what ifs and the not alls and all that. We're having a conversation. We're all adults here. We're speaking generalities. I think there's certain clauses that should automatically be assumed already when we're speaking generalities. We know we're not talking about each and every single individual on the face of the fucking earth, right? But when you're a man, you're expected to do man things, right? Shout out to man things. It's 2 man things. Shout outs in one stream. And so, what you're supposed to do is step up. You're expected to utilize those gifts that you're given, the bigger, stronger, faster, right? The logical, to not be overridden by your emotions, to be an asset, to be a benefit, right? and this is not saying that women aren't a benefit, that they're not an asset, but they have certain, or y'all have certain abilities that we don't possess, that require y'all to be protected, to be looked out for, to be taken care of in a different manner, right? In case things happen. So, a dude who wants to behave and respond in a ladylike manner as if he needs to be protected and treated as such, you know, when he should be doing the step it up, the protecting, the be at the front line, whatever. You gotta excuse me if I'm getting a little, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little tired. Yeah, you're gonna look down on that because now you're not a benefit to the team. You're not an asset to the brotherhood. You're not an asset to the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? You're a liability because you don't have the benefits that the women have, but you're behaving as the women behave. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna be looked at differently. You know what I mean? I think again, I don't know. I think things are slightly different now, but again, it's how you present yourself. Because I don't even think it's about. I don't even think it's about yeah, you're straight. It's the energy, like you said, a feminine energy, right? So I think there's probably plenty of gay dudes that are masculine energy having too. You're not going to look at them like that because again, like I say, being an asset, being a plus, and you ain't trying to take none of the hoes. So cool, that works for me, right? So you're not gonna look at them like that. But then, with on the other hand, you position where you're like you just it's no bueno. Um, yeah. So there's that. There was something else I was saying earlier that I was gonna double back to. Um, all right. Yeah. What did I say? I was gonna say it was something I said. I didn't write things down before and like I intended to. It was something related to it. Again, pardon me. But again, like I said, I do believe that, and I did not believe initially, right? But a male energy is supposed to be the dominant energy. Again, I find females are to be. I think women are a very big asset, right? Because I don't like. Let me put it like this, right? Like I feel like the the right woman, and this is another thing, right? This is what dudes got. Dudes, this is man advice, right? When I was talking about earlier about dudes knowing their lane, that's the thing that's what I was speaking about before the call, I believe. And I was talking about dudes need to know their lane as well, right? And again, you can get all the money in the world, you still be a lame dude, right? Like you got to stop playing yourself because if you know that if you can't handle a certain type of broad, or you can't get a certain type of broad before you've acquired a bunch of assets, and we should say, well, women like assets, yeah, they do, right? And they might like those assets more than you. But if you can't pull that type of chick and maintain that type of chick prior to the assets, then you may. I'm just saying may. I'm not saying that this is a dead set rule. Again, generalities. You may got to consider. You may got to reconsider and say, hey, you know what? This is not my lane. This is, you know, I was only getting these kind of chicks prior to. Maybe that's the kind of chick you need to be with. You know what I'm saying? Because that other chick gonna take you fast for your cash or for whatever assets you got because, you're gonna be putting on a pedestal over valuing her. You gotta fuck with who fuck with you, man. Like, period. And and people don't get that. We can look at these looks and we can look at attraction and of course that's the first thing you're gonna see. Somebody's appearances was gonna be like yay or nay. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be like, yeah. Now I'm interested in spending more time or interested in trying to get to know. You said the volume is low? I don't know, let me see. Doodly 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 doo. Oh, well that's probably part of the problem. How about that? Is that better? That might be the reason, because I had it. because I had it really low. That might be the reason why it was really low. So, but yeah. So, my thing is, so okay. But yeah, like I said, it's to the point now where we live in a crazy world. You need to fuck with who fuck with you, but you got too many motherfuckers chasing the bad bitch. I heard something the other day was the realest shit. Uh, well, not the realest shit I ever heard, but it was a very real thought. You know, you can buy a bad bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, quote unquote bad. You can buy the body parts. You can send her, what's her name, Dr. Miami. You send her to Mexico, them hoes gonna come back uneven and lopsided, but, you know, to each their own. Um, but you can buy a bad bitch. You can make a bitch who is simple and plain. You can throw some features on her. You can upgrade her like a car kit and all that good shit, right? But same thing with a car kit, right? You put all that bullshit on there. You can put the kit on there, bitch, that don't make that motherfucking what was that Mercury Cougar no motherfucking Bugatti, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like if she got that Mercury Cougar mind and shit, that's what it is. I don't even know if that's the right car. I'm tired and a little lit and a little tipsy. But you know, if she got that mind, that's what she gonna be. No matter how quote unquote bad she is, you know what I'm saying. You can get all the features, you can get the surgery, you can get the tummy tuck, you can get the titties done, you can get the ass done. You're a trash motherfucker. You still a trash bitch. Like it don't matter. Like your niggas make tricks some money and spend it, but you still gonna be a shitty person. But but you can't buy real, and so that's the problem I think a lot of dudes got nowadays, right? Because it's a lot of good broads out there. Right? There's a lot of broads that ain't caught up in the shit. That's why I say niggas gotta get off the internet. Like stop if that bitch on the internet arguing with you about some dating, like just stop talking to her. Because she out there seeking for some damn attention. You know what I'm saying? Like she out there needing somebody to feed her little goofy ass ego. So like don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like don't do it. I advise you. Don't argue with women who are out there on the internet arguing, talking about some dating shit. Just don't even do it. Like they're right. And so this is what I'm saying about this show. They're right. Women said that, hey, you know, I can be more feminine. And they're right. They're right. They're right about everything. Don't argue with them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, and they're right. But let them be right. Cause here's my thing, my guy. What do you get out of arguing with them? Like, what do you get out of arguing with a chick? You know what I mean? Like nothing. Hold up, man. Hold up. Uh oh. Let me find out, Ken. Let me find out, Ken. But yeah. So, but like I said, I didn't think it was gonna be a super long one. I'm probably finna tighten up here in a second. I'm not gonna lie, cause I'm definitely on the ramble train. Cause my ass is tired at 3 o'clock. I'm like sitting here. I'm like usually I'm getting up for work right before I gotta go in, or trying to. But I was up early today. I have a lot on my mind, so um, it is what it is. Hold on, let me see something. Okay, that's that one. But yeah, so other than that, I do believe uh, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it a little early evening, and well, actually, not. Slide in the Discord. That's what we're gonna do. Because the after party in the Discord is always the Discord is still the den. We just kind of figure out what the fuck we're gonna do. I think everything being there, it's probably gonna end up being like the Den 2.0 or some shit. I don't even know. I have no idea. I have no idea. We'll talk about it in the Discord. First, let me put the link in there. If you ain't in the Discord, everybody in here who's in here probably should be in the Discord. What? Yeah, we need to bring. See, I ain't got that. See, this is what I'm saying, right? This is how I know I'm out of whack because I actually did have a different line I had set up because to have those features and shit like we used to, like we used to have the beef ends and shit, and you know, motherfuckers could actually call it, because this line I don't think I can do that. I might, but I don't know. But I don't believe I can. But the other one I did, and I didn't cut that one on. I cut this shit on. So that's how you know I'm out of there. I've been doing too much. I've been, like I say, just really, really scripting some shit out, and it's how we finna execute. But we gonna bring all that back. Like I'm telling you, we gonna if it comes to the point where we gotta start from scratch, you know, I'm just gonna take the best of the things that are the things that were great about the den. You know what I'm saying? And we're just gonna recreate those things. I hope, you know, at the very least, even if they don't reinstate the channel, like I can get access to the things, because I want to buy because I was actually want to do it. This is what I was thinking about before I released them. I want to get a big ass hard drive, because that bitch is like, I think the den is like 8 TB. I think it was like 8 TB of content, close to 8, 7, 8, something like that. So I wanted to get a big ass hard drive and save all that shit on there. So look, I already fell in the damn thing. Is this shit even connected? I don't even know. But create an invite, let me do all that stuff. 7 days, 1 day, 10. No, not 1 hour. It's terrible. 10 uses generated. But yeah, I'll put this in here. Let's slide in the Discord. We can chop it up in the Discord and to Hoochie Daddy. Man, it's too hot for the Hoochie Daddy. That's terrible stuff. Balls be all sweaty and shit. Look, it's too hot for clothes. Like I get off work and I'm in the house and that's it. I'm not going back. Like I don't understand. Like, and yeah, it's the Houston humid heat is a different type of heat. It's evil. You know what I'm saying? That shit got a mind of like, it is literally like getting beat up. Every time you leave out, I feel like I get punched in the face. I feel like a nigga just stole off on me every time I go outside. Like even at night, it's hot at nighttime. It's hot at nighttime. That's the link. If you're not in the Discord, slide in the Discord. We're gonna be in a voice chat, doing the stuff we do in the voice chat, which is talking crazy and all of those good deals. You know what I'm saying? And what's that? But you know what I'm saying? I don't know what everyone's doing. Huh. I don't know what happened. But yeah, man. So it's terrible. It's terrible. Look, whew, if hell hot like this, I might have to. I'm gonna have to talk. Look, devil. Look, when you talk, Satan. Have you ever heard of air conditioning? It will do wonders for this motherfucker. Which is about right. I probably do need to clean my act up, because otherwise I ain't gonna make it right. I ain't living right. But with that being said, Discord, link in the thing. I fucks with y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming through on this channel. I apologize. I'm tired, man. Like I say, you know, it's certain days, it's just them early fucking days, and they're extremely tired. But things are going to change very soon, and the consistency will be back, and we'll be able to kind of rock how we used to rock. Something like that. Something like that. We gonna get back to the way things were. So, all right, I said like 50. I'm getting off here. Let me get off here, man. Yeah, you feel me? You feel me? All right, let me get in this motherfucker. And I'm all right. I'm actually already in the voice chat. So if y'all ain't in the voice chat, y'all lost, because you're supposed to beat me there, not meet me there. I'm already in. I'm sitting here looking. Ain't nobody in that thing. All right, I'm out. Good stuff. Adios, amigos.